A very good morning to you. This is Radio Sultanate of Oman with Good Morning Oman and our guest Stefano Virgilli now in the tail end of our session, and this is very interesting part of it all. In fact, before we go into the topic, I really want to indulge now, Stefano. It's of course, why we should prepare constantly, whether it's an entrepreneurship you're looking at, or even a good career, starting young, getting work experience free, doing things free for people. In the long term, it really helps. But we'll get into that. But before that, you wanted to add on something more about responsive webs and where people miss out.
Yeah, you were asking what is the difference between a successful website and not successful website, in particular for SME, where competition is much tougher. Most of the times, even simple things might make the difference, providing clear information to the clients. For instance, one thing that I see missing here in Oman, sometimes they don't provide maps on the website. They don't tell you where a place is. They tell you what is the PO box. That is only useful if you're going to send them a mail, but not if you want to drive there. In particular for people that come from outside. I've been in Oman for 6 months. I remember after 2 months I was here. I wanted to attend the Muscat Festival, and I went on their website, and they basically didn't provide any information for someone that didn't know the place. So it didn't say where it was, when it was, what it was, and I ended up missing the Muscat Festival.
You should have just called us. We were there. Yeah, but it's a big loss.
The camel race, for example. I wanted to attend camel race. There is no information on the website. It doesn't say when it is, when it is, and where it is. And the sad part is that if you try to Google about camel race, you will find some speculation from the United States that are talking about things that are totally not related to camel race, and they are overshadowing the actual flow.
The sport itself.
Yeah.
Oh, really? And so this means the awareness, it's a big awareness tool that we're missing out on if we're not on it.
Yeah, in fact, even from the point of view of getting people to know where is Oman is a starting point. When I told my friends in Singapore and in Italy that I moved to Oman, they keep asking me, so how is Dubai? And they probably don't know exactly where is Oman. The same thing I'd experienced when I moved to Singapore before, back in 2006, where Singapore was not so popular as it is now. They were asking me, how is China or how is Japan? But they are very far. China is 5 hours away by flight from Singapore. Now everyone knows where is Singapore because they got the first for F1 race at night. They've got the largest ferry wheel in the world. They've got the largest aquarium in the world. They've invested on getting popular in the world.
That's okay, but also making sure the world knows about it.
Correct.
It's important.
Correct. In the proper way.
In the proper way, yeah.
In the correct light.
Yeah.
That's where it's good to be conservative in terms of communication, but not too conservative, cryptic. There is a midway where you can provide information about your country, but not overexpose your country. And certain countries have decided to do that, to go very bold.
Yeah.
Some other countries, they decided to take it a little bit more careful approach to avoid to get too many people at the same time with different culture. They maybe don't understand the culture of the country.
The sentiments. But if you're communicating it right in the right place, the right time from the beginning, then there is no misunderstanding, isn't it? Because,
correct.
Yeah, because people speak a different language when it comes to values and everything.
Yeah. Just
like you pointed out. Now moving on to what to do if you're an entrepreneur. The journey begins pretty young. It's an instinct. I met a very successful person recently as our guest here, and he got so many interests. And so I asked, what is the secret? And then he said, I think people are born that way. So you sort of invest at a very young age. Yeah. You worked in a radio, didn't you, when you were a teenager?
Yeah, I was a teenager, about 14 years old. I started volunteering at the radio for a couple of years. And then I started working.
You said volunteer, so you were not being paid for being.
I was not being paid as a DJ, but it gave me the opportunity to get in contact with the advertising team of the radio, and I joined them. So I started selling advertising for the radio.
As a teenager also?
Yeah, and then I started selling advertising for cinema and then for newspaper. So I found myself at 18 years old. I was selling advertising for radio, for newspaper, for magazines, and for cinema theaters.
And soon getting paid for it.
Actually, I was getting paid at that time.
By then, already.
I was making my own little salary.
I always believe that. I mean, when you start volunteering free, you learn a lot of skills, free. And, you didn't go anywhere, but the experts are teaching you because you're a volunteer.
Absolutely.
And they're not upset if you make a mistake.
And it gives you a lot of opportunity to be seen. If you work very hard when you're working for no money, those who are taking decision within the company, they see that they can rely on you. I always do this one with our employees. In fact, we are offering internship in our organization.
Here?
Here and in Singapore as well. Oh. Currently, we have 9 students from Sultan Qaboos University that are serving internship at our company for 3 months.
Okay.
And already the first month, I can tell exactly who I would like to have on board in our team because I see how hard they work. And if you think of it, they are working for the motivation of learning, not because of the money. They don't see any monetary.
That's a very healthy sign.
Yes, definitely.
That's a good team player.
And it's very good when you see that one because you know that they deserve, and you just postpone. If they don't understand it, if they think that every hour that they work has to be paid at the beginning when they have no experience, then probably they are short-sighted. If they want to really look long-term, they still have the chance to learn a lot first and then deserve the amount that they deserve. And I think probably our generation, we were more prone to this type of mindset. Now the newer generation, probably they are not really open to this type of concept, but I still think is the best gateway to get a successful, healthy career path.
So you're saying no matter what a good idea you have, it's always good to have the work experience.
Definitely. You see, when I interview people and students come to my desk and they put on the table the 2 exactly same curriculum from the same school with the same major with the same score, it doesn't make any difference to me. So the only way that I have to assess the person beyond the paper is to see what they are able to do, what contribution they can bring to the company. One thing that I look a lot into is their communication skills. So I always ask them to tell me what is their Facebook page or Facebook account.
You check them out on the Facebook?
Yes.
I always knew this. People, you've got to be careful what you post on your Facebook, okay?
I've also prepared a presentation that is called Lose Your Job Over Twitter. I collected a few case studies of people that lost their job for what they wrote on Twitter. It's very important also to make sure that they are not... maybe during the interview they look fantastic, they look very professional, but maybe on their Facebook they are writing things that are not really good. I had a situation, for instance, in Singapore where communication are quite strict. One of our employees was writing things that were not legal, and he had an implication with the person himself. So it's very important for the employee point of view to put themselves across on their Facebook profile as someone that is willing to work hard. Never complain about your boss if you are listening. Just put things that are exciting and share on your Facebook page what you like to do. Then there is certain people that prefer to keep their Facebook or their Twitter only for personal purpose. Fair enough. But it's a great opportunity to connect at
network
business level. Yes.
There's so many networking sites now and the social media, right? Like LinkedIn and all that stuff. So it does work. You think?
Yes, I think it also geographically plays a big role. For instance, the United States relies a lot on Twitter.
Really?
Last time when I went there in Los Angeles, I was very surprised because you can't get someone's email. They just give you the Twitter handle. They don't give you the email address anymore. There was one article that I read 1 year ago. It was very interesting. It says 5 things that we will not do in the next 5 years. And one of them was sending emails. It was saying that when you have to contact someone, you will probably contact them through Facebook or through Twitter.
Or you're going to make a statement on your Twitter account or Facebook and the wall post? Interesting. Okay, and your predictions. Where are we heading with technology and social media and as an individual? You've given us lots of good hints.
I think that it's important to see exactly what's happening behind the company. One factor, for instance, about Facebook that very few kept in mind is that Facebook is very poor from the point of view of profitability. There was a statistic that came out 1.5 years ago before they went public with the IPO that says that Facebook earned $4.7 per user. Although they have 1 billion users, if you go and eat shawarma and bimto, you're giving the coffee shop more money than Facebook.
Okay.
Or if I ask you when was the last time you paid for something on Facebook, probably have to go very far. Or maybe you never give so these companies they were financed by people that put money in Facebook just for the sake of having money there. One example is Bonovox, the singer of U2. They put $40 million in Facebook. The moment they went public IPO, these people, not exactly Bonovox, but these people want their money back. That's why Facebook lost, I think, 70% of their value in the first few months. Already 7 months ago, I was after they launched 4S, I think iPhone 4S, I was predicting that Apple would have dropped, and since Christmas they've lost 48% of their value. It's basically half the value of Apple. It's just a matter of understanding how the market is moving, and predicting is very easy. In terms of communication, what will happen next is also quite interesting to predict. If you remember when we were at the beginning of the year 2000 or at the end of the 90s, everyone was making fun of the video conferences because video conference was not part of our understanding.
Correct. And now?
And now they are part of our life.
Yeah. And there's something more?
Well, I found out that whenever mainstream media make fun of our technology, ultimately it ends up being successful.
Like the fiction stories. You know, when the authors, I always wonder, why do they think about it? And it becomes a reality 2 decades or 3 decades. So the same way. So we got to keep watching. If anyone's making fun, that's the trend. It's going to be. Don't laugh at anyone. You never know who's successful. Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure having you in our studio, Stefano Virgilli. Looking forward to seeing you once again, I'm sure, in the near future.
Thank you so much.
You have a beautiful day.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.